What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Martin, and today I am taking a look at the all-new BMW M760e. Now, I've driven a few of the new 7 Series, of course, the i7 M60. Didn't really like that car, it wasn't for me. We own a previous gen 750i, a 2020 model. Absolutely love that car. I mean, the combination of speed, comfort, driving dynamics, that's what we would be looking for in a 7 Series. So let's see if this M760e is what we're looking for. In this matte frozen black paint, it is quite a sinister looking car, I have to say. So you have all this black stuff because this is an M760. It's not an M7. No, we won't get that car, I think, ever. But this is like a combination of normal 7 Series and BMW M interfering with suspension, engine, stuff like that. So it's an M Performance model, even though BMW, I think, are really ditching the M Performance lineup and just calling it M, like AMG do and Audi with S and RS, stuff like that. So we have this horrendous M badge in the front grille. It looks like the AliExpress catalog. It's absolutely horrendous, if you ask me. I do like the squareness of it. It is quite an imposing thing. So these are even worse, I think. This just looks cheap, right? What is happening over here? This is so out of place. It's really weird looking. The shape of it, the colors, it's not very pretty, if you ask me. So we have these massive 21-inch wheels on this M760e with Pirelli P0s, star marked, so it's a special BMW configuration, and that's quite elaborate. They really interfere a lot with the development of their specific tires. It's not just branding, you know, we have a star, it's special. They really do their work. It is very different from a normal P0, which is a good thing. Massive brakes behind that, M Sport brakes. We have a little M mirror cap you don't get on the normal 7 Series, indicating that BMW is really serious about their M-ness. And at the rear, this is where you really recognize it as an M760e. We have a massive M7 badge in capitals, I think, and then a little 60e behind that. So yeah, if you pose at your car like this, people will think it's an M7. Especially because we have quad exhausts. Not really, because they're fake as hell. There's the exhaust, little oval tip. I think the exact same as like a 540i, something like that. But let's have a look underneath. And let's see if we have something M-worthy under the bonnet. So here we have it, the M760e engine. So an M760 with the previous gen meant a 6.6 litre V12 with 2 turbos on it. I mean, that feels like 10 years ago, even though it's only a few years ago. We went down over 50% in engine size, from a 6.6 to a 3 litre. Latest gen, I think it's the 4th gen of B58 goodness, 3 litre, single turbo, in this case 381 horsepower. And then we have an electrical engine, you can see the orange cable running there, with nearly 200 horsepower, and in total we have 571 horsepower. So the first M760 had 605 horsepower, then came the slightly squeezed version with 585 horsepower, and now we have 571 horsepower. The good news is that it also has 800 Newton meters of torque, which is really serious, and you really feel it when you drive the car, which we will now do. So let's start her up. By default, we're in like hybrid, my personal mode. So you use a lot of the electric engine. So when it's fully charged, you can do 83 kilometers fully electric, which is quite serious. That's really practical and usable. So when you get into town or when you leave early in the morning, you put it into electric mode and it's super quiet. You don't have any emissions and it's just the way you want it to be in that situation. And if you buy the M760 because, you know, it has that sporty BMW edge, or you want it to be like that, you just go into sport mode. And this is really where BMW M interferes. You know, you can really feel the dedicated suspension setup and stuff like that in sport mode. So let's turn on the speedometer cam and let's see what it will do to 100 with launch control. So it needed a moment there. I think that's like to sync up the electric and the petrol engine. But when they sync up, man, you get like a massive blow of 800 Newton meters and 571 horsepower. And they claim 4.3 seconds to 100 kph. It did a 4.2, so it's a little quicker than that. I mean, the performance in sport mode is really nice. You get all that torque low down, which I will show you guys in live vehicle mode. With iDrive 8 you get this chaos of apps. It's just not very nice. And what I also don't like is I now have the seats in the right position. I really like these seats, but you have to get them in the right position because by default they're like a couch, you know, it's completely out of shape. So you have to go into the chaotic menu again and you have to look for the seats. There they are, and you can adjust the bolsters, and when you do, they become like super supportive, comfortable, everything at the same time, like with the old comfort seats of the previous 7 series. And I really like that. You just have to configure them in the right way. Okay, live vehicle, here we go again. So this is where you see torque, horsepower, turbo pressure, oil temperature, all stuff you want with like an M car. So you can really see that all that torque is generating low down. So this is the 4th generation of B58, and man, what an engine it is. So the car is a bit let down by its tires. These Pirelli P0s, they are just no match for this new suspension setup for the M760, because it is quite a nice and beefy car to drive in sport mode. I really like it. This is completely new for me when it comes to the new 7 series. The 740D, the i760, they didn't have this driving dynamic edge that the M760 does have, but the capabilities and the potential of this machine are just way more than what the tires can offer. So that's a bit of a limiter right there. What I also like are these massive carbon fiber pedals. I know they're carbon fiber because you get these in an M3 competition where you get the interior carbon fiber pack, but they're painted black and it has a little boost on there. So if I hold this, I get like a sports response system you get with Porsche. It's like 10 seconds, oh Jesus, of full power, both electric and from the petrol engine. I mean, those tires are just gone. They don't have any grip. What is happening right there? So on the Autobahn, this is where it excels, right? This is where it should excel. I also have to compliment them for the brakes. They are way better than with the old 7 series, which was just a weak point. So you can see that 800 Newton meters, you don't get that at the mid or higher rev range. And that is it, 255, I've seen that. So that's 251 GPS, so it actually performs when it comes to the claimed top speed, which is pretty unique nowadays with BMW. Quite often we see claimed top speeds of 250 and they only do like 242, which is quite a big difference. So let's get over to sport automatic mode. You know, the manual mode with the paddles, it's fun on a B road, but on the Autobahn you just put everything into sport mode and gun it. And it's really good at that. I really like the performance. You do sense that the electric engine, you know, they don't like higher speeds, so you get a little less power. This car is really about low down power, lower speeds. Then it will actually perform really well. Performance is a little less when you go above like 150, but it still managed to do 100 to 200 in 9.99 seconds. I mean, that's below 10 seconds, so that's seriously quick. Is it 571 horsepower quick? Not really, it's slightly less than that, but I mean, that's down to the electric engine. But just as a total package, this M760 really is a very different 7 Series, and this is what I would be looking for in a 7 Series. It's a BMW that you want to drive, just get a upgrade when it comes to the tires, because it just loves to be pushed. It's quite a challenging and rewarding car, which is pretty weird considering the fact that you drive this big boat, but it is so nice. Even these little cracks in the road, I can really sense them through the entire car, and it's not uncomfortable, it's just communicative, and it's a different car, this M760 in sport mode. In comfort, it still is that wobbly, wafty 7 Series that everyone's looking for when you get chauffeured and you're sitting right there enjoying your movie or meeting. But when you step out of the car, you get behind the driver's seat, stick it into sport mode, it is a nice car. I like it, and I didn't expect to like it. I mean, thank God we still have that B58 6-cylinder doing its magic nowadays in nearly every BMW except for the 1 Series. What a magical engine this is. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to do one more torque pull, 6 gear, here we go, 800 Newton meters right at the start. And just look at this B58 Wonder really developing its power at the mid-range. Oh, really like this car, guys. I would have loved the limiter to be removed. With the old M760 you could get the limiter set to like 300, which was just a glorious experience, like a V12 7 Series doing 300 at night on the Autobahn. This could also do near 300, no question. So BMW, please put the M driver spec on this car. You sell it as a Series M car, so give us that Series M car speed, because it's just begging for it, in my opinion. So this isn't even the most powerful M version you can get. There will also be an i7 M70 with 660 horsepower, but it's fully electric, so you have all the issues I have with fully electric vehicles. This is just what you want nowadays. You have zero emissions in town, you have the practicality of a combustion engine, you have the fun of a combustion engine. This is what you want. This is the perfect compromise. And this is the 7 Series for someone who is looking for a car that I want to drive instead of a car that I want to be driven in. So That's the main conclusion. Thank you guys for watching. Go subscribe to our channel if you like this video. Go check out this one, or go check out the full playlist if you have nothing to do. Bye guys.